Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. This is the podcast designed to help grow your business. Today, I'm speaking to Joseph Newton. And what has he got? Well, he's got a business called Condre App. They've been going just 0 to 2 years, so it's a little baby, but it's already doing £15,000 a month. There's only two of them in the business, two co-founders. Joseph makes up half of that co-founding partnership. Their biggest challenge is commercial strategy, knowing how early or not we should be trying to open conversations with the NHS, these continuing to grow our consumer app. Now, this app is designed, and Joseph sort of explained it in his own words, to people that have health anxiety. Maybe they think they've got cancer or they're going to die tomorrow, and the app is designed to help them through that challenge. Second biggest challenge is telehealth idea. Should we go down this route to tack on to our consumer app, or too much of a distraction? I actually don't know what a telehealth app is. Do you know what that is, Chance? No idea. Third biggest challenge, debt v equity. We've raised a bit of pre-seed money, but we're wondering whether or not we should focus on raising debt instead. I mean, very interesting. If you're already doing £15,000 a month, you've only been going a couple of years, why do you need debt? Could you not bootstrap it a bit more before it starts really making some money? Then you can get much cheaper debt. We'll discuss that. I asked them this: where do you want to be in 1 year's time? And they said 1 million revenue and our first NHS pilot. I think the NHS thing is a big thing that these guys want to tag onto here with their multi-billion spending budget NHS. What will your business look like when it's finished? He said a multi-9-figure exit. And I asked him this: do you make the profit that you want to make? And if so, what is it? He said, yes, but growing the top line is more the focus rather than profit right now. And do you know what? That usually gives me the heebie-jeebies when I hear entrepreneurs say that. But in this situation, I think building the subscriber base and it's got an end in mind plan, then, you know, that could work. How do you spend your day-to-day time within the business? He said marketing, growth and partnerships. And then he's got some questions he'd like to ask me. Just one big question, actually. So that's the podcast today. Before we get started, this episode is supported by Revolute Business. I want to share how we use it across our companies, because it's been very useful and helpful for managing our day-to-day spending. Now, there's also a welcome bonus of £200 if you're opening a new account. More on that in just a bit. Let's welcome our guest onto the show. Hello, Joseph. Can you hear me?
I can.
Is it Joe or Joseph? What would you like to be called?
Joe.
Joe. I mean, you did put Joseph on your form here, so that's your fault, not mine. Right, in your own words, could you tell us what your business is?
Yeah, so Condre App is an app that I founded, we launched in December. So just at the back end of 2025. It was really based on my own personal experience growing up with health anxiety. So I was that person who was going to the GP every week thinking that I had cancer or thinking that I was dying of a heart attack. So whenever I got a symptom, I would interpret it as the worst case scenario. And it really, I struggled with it for quite a few years, to be honest. I think alongside growing up with quite bad generalized anxiety and OCD, this was one of the biggest things that I really struggled with. After going through therapy for it, my relationship with it really changed, and I was no longer going to the GP every week and annoying them.
Fantastic. So did the GPs actually help, or did they think, here comes Joe, he annoys me, please leave the surgery, Joe?
Yeah, GPs, to be honest, don't really help it. And that's, I think, just the sad, unfortunate reality of the state of the National Health Service is that in a lot of cases, they make it worse because there's no real triage pathway for people that have health anxiety. The signposting is quite generic, and it's, it's just do breathing exercises or just think about something else. And so they kind of make the problem worse, really, in many cases.
And how old is Mary and Joseph? How old are you?
I am 23.
23 and already got a business, helping himself to £15,000 a month, and lives in Portugal because you're a little tax exile, aren't you? What made you move to Portugal? And I don't think it is peri-peri chicken, is it? What is it? Why?
So my previous business partner and the last business, which is why I originally moved when I was about 20, I moved because he was here in Porto.
Previous business partner. This man has barely got pubic hair and he's already had two different business partners.
Yeah, so I was running a video agency for a couple of years. We were running that from Portugal. And then I just wanted something that had a bit more scale to it. And yeah, so that was why I moved to Portugal.
Do you like Portugal?
I do.
Would you ever see yourself coming back to this here United Kingdom?
Yes, I think I want to probably split my time going forward between the UK and Portugal, just both for the business, but also because I do miss the UK a little bit. Actually.
But you're aiming for your customers to be UK customers, are you?
Yes, I mean at the minute the app pulls in people from the US, from Europe, from the UK, so it's kind of all over.
Okay, I'm very interested. Building these digital type businesses. I'm going to ask you a question now. So brace yourself. I think you know what's coming. Here we go. Let's get ready. Jingle's on its way.
How did you get your first customer?
Yeah.
How'd you get the,
We all want to know.
how'd you get the cash?
How'd you get your first customer?
From TikTok. So it's all come from like organically on TikTok. That's really how the acquisition engine was built.
Spending on ads or just organic social?
Organic.
What do we spend on ads now, Joe?
$50 a day, £50 a day.
And what does $50, £50 a day generate into customers?
Roughly, it generates probably, that's a good question, because we have a weird blended funnel at the minute where it's coming from organic and paid, but it probably roughly generates around 10 to 15 installs a day, which trickles down to about 150 to 200 a day.
Sorry, what do you mean 150 to 200 a day? Customers?
No, dollars.
Right, so 10 to 15. So everyone's paying what, a monthly subscription of $10 to $15 a month?
It's an annual subscription.
And what's an annual subscription is?
70 per year.
And what happens when you get in the app? It just says everything's going to be great.
We have a 7-day free trial. You start the 7-day free trial, and then that converts into an annual subscription. There is also a monthly option as well, but to be honest, like most people go for the annual.
Interesting. They choose the one higher upfront payment than the monthly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
How often do they use it? Do you track the statistics? Are they going in and using it?
Yeah. So most people are using our app when they're doing those behaviors that make health anxiety a lot worse. So when they're going to Google and when they're going to social media. So the biggest usage feature that we've got is our panic button, and people tend to use that on average like once a week.
What do you mean panic button? What happens?
So it's a widget that sits on your phone. You click it and it takes you through an exercise when you're spiraling about a symptom that you're worrying about. So the idea of this is that instead of going to Google and spiraling for 3 hours on Reddit and thinking that you have this awful thing, you click our panic button and it takes you for a CBT exercise.
What percentage are men to women?
70 to 75% are women.
Interesting. What age? Do you know the age demographic?
Yeah, it skews roughly like 18 to 34. That's like the majority. We do get some older as well, but that probably comes also from the fact that it's mostly coming from TikTok so far.
Wow. So TikTok has grown this business from zero. You're not using Instagram, Facebook?
No. Yeah, it's all been sourced from TikTok.
Wow. Chuds, I've just got Chuds here. Producer Chuds is joining me. How's our TikTok doing for us?
Pretty neutral. It's not that exciting. Instagram seems to be a bit better for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why have so much hate for the other platforms, Joe, or has it just not worked?
To be honest, it's just been a thing of I got so much initial traction on TikTok, where doubling down on TikTok just made a lot more sense than trying to crack other platforms. And because they give out so much organic reach that I almost feel like it was, squeeze everything we can out of that first before we start trying to figure out other platforms.
Well, I'm amazed by this. So you really, $50 a day turns into $200 of sales a day.
Yeah.
Have you been through a cycle of renewal to see if people renew after 12 months?
So the only sense of renewal that we can get so far is the monthlies. So the monthlies at the minute is at around like 90% renewals, which is
Shut the front doors.
I mean, keep in mind though, that's just the first couple of months of people. We launched in December, so like this is
quite so you launched in December.
Mhm.
So just to shake over 3 months, and we've already got 15 grand a month coming in.
Yeah.
On the back of TikTok.
Yeah.
I think that's so. What did you do for the first year and a half? If you've been getting,
No, I mean, maybe the dates got wrong. So I started the TikTok account in August of 2025. And then I met my co-founder to help build the app in September. We built it over the course of 2 to 3 months, and then we launched in December.
So have you had some money back out already? Are you paying yourself from that 15 grand? Oh, this is a great news story. I'll tell you what, why have a business partner though? Why did you not do it all on your own? Why did Joseph need a Mary?
This space is an interesting one, and I think it will get more interesting over the next few years. I mean, the direction that I want to go in, right now we are just a wellness tool, but I want to move towards being next to digital therapeutic, and then also really the end goal is to become like a regulated medical device. Because
I don't feel that answers my question, Joe, to be quite fair. I mean, that's a good little statement monologue, but why have a business partner?
Because he's got the background in this space.
That's a better answer. I just didn't. Yeah. Do you feel like you need to be with someone? Why not have an employee? That's sort of my.
I'd never built an app before, so this space was completely new to me. You know, it was uncharted. So yeah, that was why I made that. He had the background in the health space. He'd built in this space before. I'd never been in this space before. I was running an agency before, a very different business. So I felt like it would reduce a lot of mistakes.
Okay, right. Let's quickly dive into the challenges now. Commercial strategy, knowing how early or not we should be trying to have conversations with the NHS vs continuing to grow our consumer app. I think that's all very difficult. And if that comes into your little lap, then we embrace it and we take it. It sounds like you should be doing more of the same and getting your content onto Instagram, possibly making content around a podcast. I think if these people want to listen to this stuff, a podcast and YouTube channel and all of that needs to come. I mean, if this was mine and if that's already proved that in 3 months you can have 15 grand a month, then surely we need to get a content first platform going here, or content first strategy here. Second business challenge, telehealth. What does that mean?
Telehealth is just online therapy. So it's just
speaking to someone.
Yeah. For a call like this. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe get the therapist together and, that you set up that side revenue stream. I mean, it's zero CapEx, isn't it?
If we were going to do it in the US, it would require more of an investment because of all the regulations between all the states. In the UK, it's simpler, but yeah, it does come with more CapEx if it's the US.
But I would start it in the UK, proof of concept, get yourself some more cash flow, then hop on over to the United States of America. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Third biggest challenge, debt visa. I mean, this is a very, when you start these things, I think, well, I've got no information to give on an app-based business. It's not really the bread and butter of this here, James Sinclair. But I do think the fundamentals of this. I mean, usually I'd go, just go and build a bricks and mortar business. But I mean, there's no denying if you've done this on TikTok in August, you've helped yourself to £15,000 a month, haven't actually had to put any capital in to make this happen. And thus far you're doing all right already. I would say putting the telehealth thing as a secondary service where you've got 20 qualified therapists that you've met, you've vetted, that you can take a cut of, that just brings you in more cash flow, and you just have to create a very simple bit of diary booking technology, I suppose. And the third biggest challenge, debt vs equity. Now listen, obviously tech is usually equity backed, but I would hold off on that for as long as you can, because the more sales and profit that you prove, the more that private equity is going to want to get involved, and then you can take some cash off the table and become a very rich man in Portugal with your tax efficiency status. Could be very handy. So my view would be build it up as much as you can, proving concept as much as you can with your own cash and money before you take on equity. Debt's very difficult to do in the first year of trading. Very difficult to do because banks want to see, a full year's accounts, this is, it all looks good in the first 3 months. But what do you really need money for? That's the big question.
So I guess it's just to solidify our position in the space. I think that's the thing that we're very conscious of is that.
What does that mean? That just sounds like word salad to me.
So we've grown to where we've grown to, 15K a month, like in the first 3 or 4 months. I think I want to make sure that we stay as the number one in this space, and that I think there's a lot happening around health anxiety in the media, and it feels like there's a position for us to grow 10 times faster than we are. So it's more raising the money to just move a lot faster, not to.
What would you spend the money on?
Marketing.
All marketing.
Virtually on marketing, yeah.
And how much do you think you need to spend a day?
I think getting to 1 to 2K a day in spend would be a good place to get to.
But why don't you? Obviously, it's high gross profit here, isn't it? Because it's a digital service. Why don't you just see if you can sort of build it up to 30 grand a month and try and do that for 1 month with your own money? Then it's 100 grand a month, and then you don't have to worry about giving any equity up, do you, or any debt? You might have to just have a very uncomfortable 6-8 weeks, which for a bloke that's got health anxiety maybe is not smart, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But I mean, I just think the anxiety that I would tell lots of entrepreneurs and business owners, as soon as you bring in private equity or equity partners, for me, the anxiety of having to answer to someone and being told what to do swipes the fun out of entrepreneurship. And I just want to plant that seed in your head. Ultimately, it's your decision. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'd like to play devil's advocado here and say, look, there's Bootstrapped, there's debt, there's private equity. What I would always say to people, the more you prove concept when you go to get debt or when you go to get private equity, the cards are stacked more and more in your favor.
Yeah, maybe the only pushback I'd have though is that we are thinking about going through angels, so not a VC firm, not
angels are gonna, they're not. People give their hard-earned cash. You will have to answer to someone.
Yeah.
Forgive
yeah,
you.
it's true.
No, these people don't. I mean, they're even worse in some cases. Here's 50 grand. Yeah, go and do what you like and lose it. I don't think so. Joe, where are you at? How many members have we got this month? What's happening to my 50 grand? These people have built that money up themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, on the.
But also the angels, when you haven't proved the concept very long, they hold the cards. You're desperate for the cash. Really, you want to be in a position saying, look, things are going really good. We're making loads of money. Do you want a slice of the action? These are our terms, rather than, oh, Joe, you just started out and you need my money. I'll be in charge of the terms. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And a little bit of patience here. I mean, if we've done this in 90 days, imagine where you could be in 180 days, really primed to get the right angels, the right venture capital, PEs, or banks.
Yeah.
The more that, and I think you might go, Jesus Christ almighty, like we've really brought in some great customers here from a bootstrap position. We've really proved the concept. This isn't an idea. It's not a pipe dream. This is real. It's concrete. It's proven. Look, again, your decision, but I just hopefully when you and your partner listen to this, this is unusual what you've done here. Most people are pre-income, pre-revenue. It's an idea. And so you do anything to get the cash, but, this is not seed capital, is it? It's already on the go. It's working. It's happening. And I don't want you to lose your leverage. I don't want you to lose your power over something that's obviously doing very well already very quickly. Where do you want to be in 1 year? It's $1 million turnover with our first NHS pilot. I mean, God, if you had £1,000 a day, and here's the thing with ad spend as well. We'll give you this piece of advice. Everyone thinks, right, 50 is bringing in 200.
Yeah.
Let's put 1,000 in and it'll bring in 2,000, 3,000. I tend to find that in my experience, that's not the case. I think about Marsh Farm. Go, right, we'll spend £500 a day on meta ads. This is generating ticket sales. Let's double it. Ticket sales don't double.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next step would then be also bringing in someone, because it's just, I'm doing it myself at the minute. So bringing in someone that could help us manage that next phase of scaling the paid ads.
But the paid ads might, a content strategy might be better.
Yeah,
you guys need to be writing newsletters, don't you? My God, a newsletter would be so good for you.
Yeah, so we're doing a newsletter, and we've actually also started a podcast as well in the last like month or so.
And make the newsletter good. Really, what a lot of people are doing now is wanky chat GBT. Let it be your ideas and get that stuff to check your grammar and stuff. But it's got to be your voice and your expertise.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Now, before we carry on, I want to share something that's been really useful for our group of companies. It comes from our partners of this podcast, Revolute Business, and it's the nifty Revolute Business Card. We run multiple sites and multiple brands, so keeping track of what's being spent across the business is something we must get right. Now, for example, with our day nursery business specifically, we've got 10 different locations and 10 different teams. So finances can get quite complicated very quickly. So what we do now is actually pretty straightforward. Each of our 10 nursery sites has its own Revolute business card, and every one of those cards connect to the same account. So at any point, I or any of our accounts team can see exactly what's being spent at each location, all in one place. How cool is that? Everything reconciles automatically, no chasing receipts, no waiting until the end of the month to find out what's happened. Flipping fantastic. For anyone running a business with multiple sites or teams, that's the kind of visibility that's flipping winner, chicken dinner. Revolute Business has now over 750,000 business customers, with 30,000 new businesses joining every month around the world. If you want to get set up with Revolute Business, sign up at revolute.com/RB/James. Do that before the June the 30th, 2026. Add some money in your account and you'll receive a £200 welcome bonus. Terms and conditions apply. Big thanks to Revolute Business for supporting the podcast. Now let's get back to it. What will your business look like when it's finished? Multi-9-figure exit. Come on, gang. Come on. Round of applause for this man. Round of applause. I think you're going to get it, by the way. I absolutely see it for you, Joe. I envisage you having this. I think you're obviously a smart chap. And then you can go and live in the sunshine. But you already do. How'd you spend your day to time in the business, marketing, growth, partnerships? By the way, you might be thinking, bloody hell, I'm doing everything. Let's just remember you're only 90, 100 days into this journey. Things are going like gangbusters already. You learning the PPC, you learning how to do everything, you learning how to do all that stuff is going to serve you so well for the future. What happens is lots of people just bring in loads of people. They you go to VC and they give you £1 million and you just go and make a load of stupid hires. You go, let's put 250 grand into TikTok tomorrow, and you stop being so careful. Every pound that comes in, you're very careful where that next pound goes, or euro in your case, or dollar. And I think the toughness is a very good medicine for an entrepreneur to go through. Then once you've sold and you've made a big pile of money, you go into the next thing with loads of experience. And I'm very happy that you haven't got a load of money. I'm really happy because I think, do you know what? It's going to serve you very flipping well for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
There's a little phrase that you might hear me say here. It's not your lack of resources, it's your lack of resourcefulness. And you've had to become very resourceful. And that's the best skill set that any entrepreneur and business owner can get. And do you know what it does? When you're resourceful, when you're an investor, when you're an angel, when you're a bank manager, when you're a venture capitalist, that's the thing that they love. They want to back those people that have proved their concept against all the odds with next to nothing. Okay, how do you spend your day today? Oh, well, we've done that. Questions for James that you'd like to ask. What little steps would you take to land an NHS national pilot? I think what I would do is I would forget about the NHS And I would write and find ways of meeting MPs that are junior ministers within the NHS. So at the moment, we've got a bloke called Wes Streeting, who's our NHS Health Secretary, is it? Yeah, that's what they call the Health Secretary. And he will have, I think, 3 or 4 MPs that will be junior health ministers. I would be tracking them down, writing letters to them and asking for their help. Don't say you've got anything to sell to them. Say, we've created this thing that's really helping people. I think it can save people lots of money. Can we come and see you to see if we can get help? Find someone that that may live in an area, because MPs have to see people in their local surgeries and constituencies. So find one, go and I would go via the MPs, and then they would have to tell you what they would do. Ask them for help. Say, what would you do in this situation? Because I'm a greedy, hungry capitalist that wants to make loads of money with a 9-figure exit. I mean, maybe we leave that part to the side, but we could ask them for their help, and they're the decision makers on new stuff like that. They would at least send you lists of people to get in touch with.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I think the NHS, can you just fact check? I think they're the 3rd largest employer in the world or something so gargantuan like that. So it's going to be very difficult to get that. But, I would speak to ministers. Do we know the answer there, Chance? 3rd or 4th?
NHS is 7th.
7th largest employer.
Do you want to know the list?
Yeah, go on then. Who's number 1?
Ministry of Defence, India.
India. I thought it was China.
United States Defence, 2nd. Army, China.
Yeah.
Then Walmart, Amazon, Chinese Petroleum, National Health Service is 7th. Then Foxconn is 8th, India Railways is 9th, and Tata Group is 10th.
What does Indian Railways do? What sort of sector are they in?
No
idea. Joe's laughing. He's been a good guest. He laughs at all of our stupidity. Joe, I've got a friend and he's dyslexic, and his hobby, I'll tell you about this, Chance, his hobby is going to all the marches in London. It's a weird hobby to have. He went there for all the teachers, he went there for all the doctors, but severely dyslexic, and he just likes getting out and about. And I put on the TV last night, and I saw him on the TV, and he had a sign up. And he was walking along, and he had 25 children following him. And I said to the missus, that's Dave, isn't it? Dyslexic Dave. And he had on his sign, he had free plasticine. Have you just got it, Joe? Have you got it, Joe?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
All the kids are following him.
Where did you hear that?
All the kids are following him. All the kids are
You silly man.
free plasticine. Free plasticine. Oh dear. Palestine, if anyone doesn't get it. Right. Okay. Right, Joe, anything else you'd like to ask here on the business broadcast?
No, I think that's, do you know, the only other thing I was going to say.
Time's up. Sorry, that's the sticker. No, go on, go.
Was insurance companies. So health insurance, we've not looked into this a lot. I think it's probably similar to the NHS point of don't worry about it right now or don't. But would you pay any attention to that in terms of health insurance?
Can I just say something to you, Joe? You need to have a content first strategy, because if you get that content good, people are going to start knocking on your door. And that's when you start holding the cards. It's within your grips. And if you really do good content, you've proved the point on TikTok. If you really do that well, newsletters, books, guest articles, writing articles in newspapers, you want someone to go, yeah, I want to get in touch with these people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
The content is going to really, really help you. And do you know what? On this podcast, not everyone I talk about content for, but for your business, it's going to be very, very good.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Right, Joe, we're going to rate you now, baby. But you have to listen to the podcast when it comes out to find out how well you've done, and hopefully it doesn't give you anxiety.
Okay.
You've got to joke about these things, haven't you?
Exactly, you do, of course.
Joe, they say laughter is the best medicine.
I
Unless
agree.
you're diabetic, then insulin works better. Poor. Right.
8 Traits of the Great.
8 Traits of the Greats. Right, see you later, Joe. You're off. Bye, baby. See you soon. Right, it's time for 8 Traits of the Greats. Now, those of you that are watching here, I'm in my office. We've cleared out our studio space. It's big, isn't it,
It wasn't
Chance?
really a studio. Oh, the previous one or the upcoming one. The upcoming studio space.
Yeah, it's all been cleared out.
Ready to go.
Chunt is managing this project with, I think we've got a few people quoting, haven't we, to look at this, and we're very excited about it. But this is live from the James Sinclair desk here. Oh, 8 Traits of the Greats. That's what we're doing. Here we go. It's 8 Traits of the Greats. So I'm going to think about this, starting with the end in mind. He definitely gets that. Passionate about their cause. He definitely gets that. Untold amounts of resilience. We don't know that, do we?
He's had to deal with some health stuff, hasn't he?
Oh, okay, we give him that. Chuds has been very kind here. They master relationships with people. I think he gets that. Commercial awareness. I actually do think he gets that too. They innovate so they don't evaporate. Well, you're in tech, you're always innovating. This is a very good score. I'm not giving him that. They're master marketeers. I think he's actually got that. He stayed teachable and curious. That's close to a 6 here.
What did he not get there?
Well-
Innovation. I think he does. It's an app. He's gone and found a developer to make it. It's the first time you've heard of this. It's quite innovative, isn't it? You just don't want to give him an 8. That's the issue here. But I think all of those is a yes, in my opinion. 90 days, 15 grand a month. Why would it not be an 8? You said it's
think you're right,
a smart
Chuds.
chap.
I think you're right. Wow. This is an 8, ladies and gents. This guy has got all the 8 traits of a great entrepreneur. You heard it here first. I can't believe it.
Amazing.
I think only 2 people have ever got that.
I think so. 3, maybe.
Wow. He's got it. Well, here we go. It's a song. I'm going to have to sing it. He's on an 8, on par with James Sinclair the Great. Wow. There we go. Right. We're now moving on to more stupidity here. Okay, I'll turn this around. Oh, have we got Post-it for a pun?
We have actually.
Got something to sell or a story to tell.
Look at that.
AI.
No, I sung it myself.
AI, isn't it?
Don't keep it quiet.
Don't keep it quiet. It's time for Post-it for a pun. This got sent to me urgent. James Sinclair. I mean, this really did get sent and got to my desk, didn't it? So there we go. Look, it didn't even say Post-it for a pun. This is the new King Charles thingamajiggy. Oh, miss the Queen. She was a good part of the British establishment, wasn't she? Right, what we got in here? I want to get the Post-it for a pun. Oh, floppy disk here. Do you remember them, Chuds?
No, I
No.
don't. No.
So I still had these at school. As you can see, I'm losing my hair here. Anyone got anyone recommendation for turkey hair or turkey teeth? Look at that. That's
You do get emails for that, though, don't you? Let's not pretend that those brand deals don't
Yeah,
get
but-
offered.
a couple of years ago. I haven't had one recently, have I?
A couple of months ago.
Right, well,
Oh, James, we love YouTube videos. You could do with our help.
terrible. Really. Right, okay. It says here, you're holding something unexpected, an object that once carried our most important files, ideas, and ambitions, that floppy disk. The icon we used to save things, now obsolete, yet instantly a tug from the past. It should remind us that information you can hold in your hand has a tangible value, a weight, a presence. We're owning less and less, and with that, we're losing an emotional spark that comes from something touching something real. My company exists to bring back the unexpected. No account managers, no layers, no watered down ideas, just direct access to world-class creatives and how to make people stop, look, and care. With over 20 years delivering for brands like McKinnon, Disney, British Airways, and Audi, I've learned one truth. The idea that works are the ones that surprise us. If we're ready to stop building just another campaign, start building an audience, let's talk about how to make your brand memorable. I think it's a marketing company.
Yeah. You think? That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I actually think good idea. If you're a marketing company, where's the headline to grab me in here?
It should say we do XYZ, shouldn't it? It should say that straight off the bat.
But still, good.
Yeah, floppy disk is cool.
Floppy disk. That's Stephen Noble. If you like Stephen Noble to help you, it's stephennoble.co.uk. Thank you for sending in to post it in a punt or post
Got
it.
one more as well from Mehdi, who we know is an active viewer of the podcast, isn't he, for content?
Mehdi.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it says Mehdi. I don't think there's going to be another
Mehdi.
Mehdi.
What we got here? Some water from Mehdi, solid waste group, free community water. Oh, this is very heavy here. And he's got another big bottle of water here. Hello, Mehdi. Thanks for the water. Right, hang on a sec. Here's this. What was it? Same day waste removal from Mehdi. He does garden hire, skip hire. See, I think this is good.
So you said it straight away. Same day. Waste
This is
removal.
what I mean. This is very good marketing. Look at that. Same day waste removal. I know exactly what he wants to do. Garden clearance, skip hire, sofa clearance, single item clearance. People care about design too much. This is something that I just, look, get an instant quote. Call me, WhatsApp. Good call to action. He's got a little letter here.
Nice.
Hi, James. Hope you're doing well. I'm not sure if you remember me, but I previously come on your show with my cleaning business. It was the episode titled £15,000 per month for council cleaning. I've just sent over a small package inside of some branded water bottles recently starting testing as part of a new business we've launched alongside the cleaning company. Well, there you go. So he's launched a water bottle. Great entrepreneur, same day waste clearance, and his company is solidwastegroup.co.uk. Little free ad there on the podcast. Right, it's now time for
Tombola thing?
Tombola thing time. Chuds is going to mix the tombola up. He's going to give me a corresponding number. This comes into my little files over here. Okay, you can see the files. I've got a corresponding number, and the number is
24.
24.
Don't we get 24 every single time?
And 22. 24 and 22.
That's so weird.
By the way, I watched a little story on YouTube talking about, that's random. Obviously, it's completely random. But there was a guy that managed to get £1.3 million out of the Ritz Casino. He worked out that he could watch the way a croupier, is that what they called the people that?
I think so.
Yeah. They throw that little white ball and it lands.
Yeah.
He worked out that they have an action and he could predict the numbers within 6 or 7 numbers. I watched it on YouTube and he got away with it. He's not
doing anything wrong though, is he?
Well, but they thought he did. So they arrested him, looked for electronic devices. He won 1.2 million. No, he won £100,000 in the Ritz Casino in London on the Monday night. This is great. This works. I'll go back on the Tuesday night. Human beings. Can't help myself here. I've got £100,000. Let's do it properly. Goes in. But the casino noticed because he won £100,000 the night before. Comes back in.
Yeah.
Cameras are on him. This was in 2004. He studied the maths of it and everything. It's fascinating. Dietrich, his name was Dietrich, if anyone wants to look it up. I'm sure if you put Ritz Casino, 1.3
Funny how
million.
they're willing to take everyone's money, but as soon as someone is clever enough to figure it out.
Well, the Ritz Casino in London, called the Metropolitan Police, as just as he would finish his game, the Met Police are there, arrest the guy, put him in a cell. They put him in like an X-ray machine, see if he had any electronic items within his body, to find it. Nothing. Checked with all the staff, nothing. And he just.
Did he tell them that I've just figured it out? He said, "I promise you, I've just figured it out."
Yeah. So he would lay 7 numbers because he knew that the way the person throws the ball. So he'd watch all the croupiers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And he got the money.
Yeah.
Tax-free. It's
Very
tax-free gambling. It's a great little story. So, but anyway, I suppose that was loosely connected to this. I love that. Oh, do you know, Chuds, I know you love YouTube, but I just love YouTube.
Yeah.
I just want to say it. I mean, it just knows things that I was right in 20 minutes of my life. I listened to that story, blah, blah, blah. Right, anyway, back to this. So folder 24 is here. Inside folder 24, black envelope if you're new to the show. Inside is a green piece of paper. Underneath the light green piece of paper over here is a company. And I'm going to read out said facts about this company, and you have to guess what the company is. You can play along at home. The business was sold to EG Group for around 100 million in April 2021 and is now being bought back from Asda, reportedly between 30 and 50 million pounds. Each restaurant features photos from the founders' family albums reflecting Mediterranean and Syrian routes alongside English holidays. In 2024, the company reported around 1,120 employees following a 17% workforce reduction, 224 roles due to rising costs. Right, the business was sold to EG Group for around 100 million in April 2021. It's now being bought back from Asda, reportedly for between 30 and 50 million pounds. Each restaurant features photos from the founder's family business reflecting Mediterranean and Syrian roots. Is it Syrian?
I've got no idea. This is not ringing any bells.
I think I know what it is.
Go for it.
Cafe Nero.
Thought that was Italian.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Leon.
Ah.
Leon.
Leon's good. I like Leon.
Yes, of course. We know about that, and we're getting him on the show, aren't we? The bar
Potentially, don't jinx it.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. There we go. Well, there we go. Me and Chuds are both wrong. Leon, Syrian and Mediterranean style foods. People went there on their English holidays. Oh, that's the guy that's brought it back.
Right,
I think he's bought it back for £1.
Ah, nice. Very
Bought it
relevant.
back for £1. From Asda. So there we go. There we
Interesting.
go. Restaurants are hard now. I was thinking about
When were restaurants not hard?
Well, they've never been harder, Chuds. I mean, I was looking at the Rossi Ice Cream Parlour, our shop, restaurant, cafe, doing the same turnover, making half the profits. Just overheads are killing it. And that's why in Germany and in Ireland and in France, they have lower rates of VAT for the sector, and we don't have it there. But, we live to fight another day. And I just want to say for anyone out there that I really do feel that things are much tougher than I have ever known them. Companies are holding back cash. People are delaying payments. I checked today, Chuds. I think I'm owed £1.4 million. Like, have a day off. Have a day off. It's just so tough. But anyway, look, you have to keep swimming. Keep swimming, guys. Business rates went up for me this month as well. That's another 60 grand I've got to find. How about have a day off? So yeah, look, I feel for you out there. If you've got a premises in your business, and please don't just think you're just going to go and set up an app like Joe, because we actually need a mixture in our economy. Chuds, you sent me a little screenshot of someone that said,
Oh yeah, AI.
I thought it was very interesting.
Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah. I mean, let's leave that as our interesting fact or quote of the week.
So this was from a Twitter post, I think, from Tom Goodwin. And this
Do you know who he is?
No, this was shared through another source that I also trust. And someone said this is one of their most interesting takes on AI. And I pretty much agree with it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So he said, when are tech folk going to get that people like wasting time? It's life. They don't optimize for efficiency. They just try to get by. They watch dumb stuff. They enjoy shopping. Inefficiency is another word for living and life. Your mean and medium job isn't a software engineer in Menlo Park. It's Ashley in accounts in a non-for-profit in Columbus. It's Jesse, the office manager for a tool rental business. They are more likely to use a fax machine than Slack. They quite like meetings because they like chatting. They'll use AI to make a better invite for their baby shower, not agentify their job. These people, nor their boss's boss, aren't in a rush to build software as a side hustle. They are keen to use AI to check if their vet is overcharging them. They'd like AI to check spelling on an email to the school governor. They don't want agentic commerce. They want AI to be in the background and make living life a little less stressful. I think I said agentic, right? Like agent, AI agents.
I've actually got something that I would like to share. Now, Will Polston, who I do my charity ball with, which we raised, by the way, over 72,000. He put a little post up on his Instagram, and I thought this was really interesting. He put, tonight's thought to ponder, 15-year thinking, and how employees, which make up 95% of the population, experience dopamine and serotonin up, noradrenaline down upon completion of a goal. Do you know what that means? So noradrenaline, easy for me to say, is like when things go back to normal, isn't it?
I don't know what noradrenaline is.
So experience dopamine and a serotonin up and a noradrenaline down on completion of a goal. Now, entrepreneurs, I'm guessing most of the people that listen to this podcast, which are representing 5% of the population, experience dopamine and serotonin up and noradrenaline down while in pursuit of a goal. We're wired for the chase, not the completion. So that's why entrepreneurs are broken. So
Very interesting.
So yeah, so if you're wired for the chase, you want to get the customer. Once you've got the customer, straight on to the next thing. Whereas most of the population, they get something done and they actually feel good about it. Whereas entrepreneurs actually don't care about getting the thing done. It's just, what's the next chase?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
So scientifically proven. I
think it's like that AI thing I read out. It's just interesting to be aware that the people talking about it and demonstrating its importance are not everyday people. They're not the people that actually care or not. The people publishing, I was watching an interview with the guy that owns NVIDIA. And he thinks they're like almost there on AGI. They're like, we've pretty much done it.
Just give you the acronym for AGI?
Artificial General Intelligence. So it's not like it can complete tasks for you. It can start any task itself, essentially. And that would be, but if that can do that, then humans are obsolete in a way. But like most people don't care or even know what they'll do with that. So it's like there is a tipping point where it can get so good, but like day-to-day people are not even going to know it's happening.
Really interesting thing, Chuds. I went away in my camper van this weekend. I went and toured loads of businesses, including some of our own, the Big Sheep. I went to this place up in Wales, and there's a couple of these places in the UK. They've got this little tin boat that you get in, and you pull yourself on a rope along the river. And I mean, there was zero technology involved in that. I giggled and I laughed as we tried to work it out, how to do it. And I just think that sort of summarises that we do want to do those things, don't we?
Yeah.
It's we want, I feel so good when I walk around nature. I feel there's another thing as well. Apparently you release dopamine and sensory achievement when you clean things with your hands. Like if you tidy a room up or cleaning your car. Like apparently there's something that.
I just think people don't want to optimize efficiency. People just want to get by and do things day to day. And that's enough,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there we go. Right, gang. Thanks very much for listening to the business broadcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to come on the show, you can apply on my website, jamessinclair.net, to your continued success. If you've loved listening to this podcast and you think, oh, that's a bit of me, I've got some challenges and I'd like my business exposed to the tens of thousands of people that listen to this podcast, then good news, Captain. You can apply to come on the podcast. There's an application form. Just check out the podcast description and we'll see you there to help grow your business.